Welcome back to a massive video. If you don't like this, I don't know what you will. It's the 5 biggest leagues in the world predicted.
I tell you what, he's just a random lad. I'm just a random dad. We don't know what we're talking about.
Just a couple months.
Give us your views in the comments down below.
There. Let's get into the first league. What is it, Thogden?
Ooh, Liga Predictions. Straight into France there. Lovely country.
We're going to pick the winner. Straight to the business.
I'm sorry about this, Theo. You know what I'm going to say? They've won 9 of the last 11. It's Paris Saint-Germain. Their squad value is way ahead of anyone else's. They've still got Mbappe as of today.
And they've been
got
interesting
Neymar,
signings,
they've got Hakimi, they've got Verratti, and they've just signed Manuel Ugarte.
It's a big price tag for a man that I barely know anything about from Sporting. And another man I don't know much about, Kangin Lee from South Korea. Now, he was playing out in Spain. I've heard a lot of things, but I've never really watched him. Skriniar is a good free transfer. Lucas Hernandez solidifies that defence. If they are going to win the league, it's because they have good defensive players, let's be real. Because attacking-wise, it seems like Neymar had previously fallen out with the new manager, Jose Enrique, at Barcelona. Messi has gone to Inter Miami, which will be a big hit on their contributions. Who's the one to get all the goals this year? Is Neymar going to make a regen? Is Mbappe going to stay? Because it looks like he might leave.
They've got the best squad by a million miles. Now, last season, they only won this league by 1 point.
I'm going to throw a curveball at this. My prediction for the winner of Ligue 1 is Marseille.
Wow.
Laugh at me in the comments. Have a joke. Have a giggle. But if you agree with me, this is why. Aubameyang. He has signed, 34 years old. The last time he played in Ligue 1, he killed that league. Ismaïla Sarr from Watford. Yes, it wasn't a great year for him last year in the Championship, but he didn't want to be there. He had talks with Liverpool and all these big clubs, and it fell through. You think I've had enough here? No. Iliman Ndiaye. That was the Sheffield United player that everyone was so excited to watch in the Premier League. And he's gone. They are cooking next year, Dad.
So you've signed a player from Sheffield United, and because of that, you're going to finish above PSG.
That's the most dumb thing you've ever said, though, Dad. Let Iliman Ndiaye cook. Watch him destroy him. From the get-go, you're going to see a different Marseille. They've had a good transfer structure, and they look stronger than ever. I think Marseille could stop PSG. Lens were just 1 point off PSG to the league title. Anything is up for grabs in this league. Let's move on to top 4. Who's your top 4 clubs?
Second place is Olympique Marseille. Third place is Lens, and Lille are in 4th place there.
Yeah, that's a big 4. Tell me about why you've given Marseille second over first.
Well, I tell you what, Theo, I will never write off this city and this club, and I know all the things you've said. I'm a big fan of Malinovsky. There's some good players in there. The fans of Marseille are absolutely incredible. That is one of the hardest grounds to go to in the world because of those ultras.
And that can go both ways. It supports them, but when things go wrong, they get a little bit too involved with the club. They'll like start setting fireworks off the training ground. Marseille, PSG, Lille, and Monaco. Now, you haven't mentioned Monaco. You actually entered Lens. That's the difference between you and me. The reason I removed Lens is because they sold their 2 big players.
Yes.
One to Leipzig. Luis Openda, who scored 21 goals from them last year, got 6 assists. That's 27 contributions removed from them this year. And Seko Fofana, he went to Saudi Arabia. He had a bunch of contributions as well. How are they going to do? They've got a great fan base, Lens. I really want to visit them next year. But without those key players, are they really going to still get top 4 Champions League?
And this is why I'm dropping them from 2nd to 3rd place there. But remember last season, the best defence in the league was Lens. 29 goals conceded.
That's a good point, but where will the goals come from? That's my question. That's why they're dropping outside. I'm giving Monaco a shout. Jonathan David scored nearly 25 goals last season. I'm really excited to see. He stayed at Lille, which is a big call, and I think he'll keep them in the top 4. Let's move over to the relegated teams. Give me your 3, Thogden.
Simply Le Havre, Stade Brest, and Metz.
Yeah, I've gone for Le Havre, Metz, and Nantes.
Ooh.
So I think you've picked the 3 teams that got promoted. I've picked Nantes, who survived by the skin of their teeth last year, and 4 teams went down because they changed from 18 to 20 teams. They had to move more teams down. It was a bit crazy.
Over to Germany now for the Bundesliga. Who's going to win this league, Theo?
I'm going to go with Borussia Dortmund. I'm not. I'm going Bayern Munich. I have to. They've lost Jude Bellingham. How can I defend Dortmund anymore? I'm sorry. Their chance was last year, and on that final match, they blew it. They had it in their own hands, at their own stadium, where they had that incredible home form, and they just threw it away.
And I hate to do this, they've won 11 in a row, and they're just about to win 12 in a row. Bayern Munich have got twice the squad value of anyone else. And who've they just bought, Theo, to improve their defence?
Kim Min-jae, who kept Napoli so solid, they went and won the league. And Guerrero, who weakens their exact title race opponent, Dortmund. I really like Rafael. He's an exciting wing back and also play full back. He's got lots of energy. Don't know how BVB let him go on a free. There is the other side to it. Bayern Munich no longer have a striker. Sadio Mane has gone to Saudi. Are you worried about Mane leaving, Dad? Who's the striker to score all the goals?
I'm a big fan of Mane, Theo, but we know that last season wasn't a great one. You look at that Bayern Munich squad list, Theo. You still got Muller, Gnabry, Sané, Coman, Musiala, Kimmich, Alphonso Davies. This is a team who can win the Champions League.
Let's move on to top 4. Surely you've got got Dortmund second. Who's your third and fourth?
Borussia Dortmund in second, like you say. RB Leipzig in third, and Bayer Leverkusen in fourth.
Bayer Leverkusen.
Yes.
I like that. Great manager in Xabi Alonso as well. So for my top four, I've gone Bayern Munich, Dortmund in second, RB Leipzig in third, and Bayer Leverkusen in fourth. Xabi Alonso is going to want to show the world what he can do as a manager. He went on a good European run last year, but didn't make it to the end. I'm excited to see him potentially finish in a Champions League spot next year.
Yeah, going back to Borussia Dortmund for a minute. Of course, Jude Bellingham going out is the big one to talk about, but Sabitzer coming in.
And as I said, it's from Bayern Munich, so you're weakening a rival. I'm a bit worried about Dortmund next year. I don't really know where the goals are going to come. I think Adeyemi gets a year older. Donny Malen can keep up his form. I'm excited about them, but I don't think they have enough to win the league.
What about RB Leipzig, Theo? They could easily be runners-up. They have signed Lois Apenda, haven't they, from Lens?
It's a very clever
who gets
signing.
a goal every other game, and they've got Fabio Carvalho, the young lad from Liverpool.
Yeah, Fabio Carvalho is brilliant. Can't believe Liverpool never gave him a chance.
Yeah.
He's finally going to get some minutes. He got that at Fulham, and he's shone in the Championship. Bundesliga is a great place to learn and grow. We saw that with Haaland.
And what about Bayer Leverkusen, Theo? They've got a player called Florian Wirtz. He's a 20-year-old attacking midfielder, rated about 85 million euros. One of the stars of the Bundesliga.
And last year, he only scored one goal because he had a complete injury problem. Is he going to be the same player after this long injury? We're going to find out. Wirtz with the new signing Granit Xhaka. That's a great move. Union Berlin, we forgot about them, and Freiburg as well. Outside shouts.
I didn't forget about Union Berlin. I think they've overperformed last season. They could be there or thereabouts, fifth or sixth.
Unfortunately, the three teams to get relegated from the Bundesliga from me are Darmstadt and Heidenheim, who just got promoted. Bochum survived on the final day, but I think they won't have enough to keep up this year.
And I'm just going to say ditto, those three.
Darmstadt and Heidenheim squad value is nowhere near the competitors in the league. So if any of these three do find a way of staying up, then you've got my kudos.
Over to Italy now for Serie A. This could be a fascinating season. Theo, who's going to win this league?
I have gone very different, and I don't think many of the comments will agree with me, and you've probably stopped liking this video for my thoughts, but I'm going with the title winners 23-24 in Italy, Juventus.
No way.
And it's not the answer a lot of you want. I know a lot of Napoli fans watch us, AC Milan, even Inter fans. I just think Juventus have enough this year. I'm very excited by their new signing, Timothy Weah.
Yeah.
They've got Paul Pogba back to almost full fitness. And I think Allegri has something to prove. And with no distraction in Europe, as they've been banned from the Conference League, that's a blessing in disguise, so they can focus on the league. They've got that bonus against everyone else in the top four.
Dusan Vlahovic, very highly rated striker, but they brought in Moise Kean. Is he going to warm the bench?
I think Moise Kean might play next to Vlahovic, but then you've got Chiesa that they're trying to move in. It's weird that they play a 3-5-2. They don't play Chiesa in the right position.
Yeah.
But with a good pre-season, maybe he will connect with Vlahovic up top.
Now, I know Juventus were tight defensively last season, only conceded 33 goals.
Yeah.
That counts in your favour. Now, of course, they were 7th last season, 4th without that 10-point penalty. How does that ban from Europe impact Juventus?
Yeah, well, they don't have to play Benfica, and they don't have to play PSG. They don't have to travel to Israel. They had to go to Maccabi Haifa last time. This is a completely different story. They can focus on what they need to win. You're asking me all the questions. Wait, Dad, who's your first place?
You're not going to believe this. I've not looked at your notes. It's Juventus as well.
Dad!
I just had this weird feeling they're not in Europe. And I think the players, the Pogbas, the Weston McKennies of this world, will lift their games and win the league.
Are you serious right now?
I'm serious right now. It's there in my notes.
Okay, so give me your top four. Let's move straight to it. Who's second, third, fourth?
Second place, Inter Milan. Third place, Napoli. Fourth place, AC Milan.
That's really interesting because my big four in Italy includes Juventus, Inter, Napoli, AC Milan. The same big four, and it's the same order.
They've lost Sandro Tonali, haven't they, to Newcastle? Great for Newcastle, not so good for AC Milan.
Yes.
In comes Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Pulisic. Now, I'm a big fan of Pulisic.
Yeah.
But he's not been delivering the last couple of years.
Milan have been spending a lot, but they've been doing it because they even signed the AZ midfielder, who I watched against West Ham. He scored. I really like the business that they're doing, and they've had a lot of money because of the price tag that Tonali went for. Napoli for me, Dad. Why are they dropping off? It's the loss of the manager, isn't it?
Yes.
Spalletti's gone. They just hired a coach with Al Nassr who finished second with Ronaldo. Al Ittihad beat them to the league. Now they've got Benzema.
Brilliant last season.
Yeah.
They absolutely warped the league. Very reliant on Osimhen, who I rate very highly, gets you a lot of goals.
They've still got him.
Yes, they have, but they're very reliant on Kvara. Those two players, what if one of those gets injured? What if one of those players doesn't perform? I think with the other clubs we're talking about, there is more breadth, Theo.
Both miss out, Roma and Lazio.
We do, Theo. But
Lazio have lost Milinkovic-Savic. Roma will have European distractions again.
This is the most fascinating league of all of them.
Yeah.
This is the one where one of 6 teams can win this league.
Yeah, sorry Lazio fans, but Josh is going to be raging, but they're not in my top 4. Inter Milan, we've both got them second. They're favourites coming into this year. They've made Thuram their big striker. Lukaku is gone. Lautaro Martinez is staying, and he's had offers from Saudi Arabia.
Lautaro Martinez is the reason why they're going to be in second place there. He's going to get you 16 to 18 goals. Like I said, I think the top 6 is going to be very narrow. It's going to be fascinating, and we will be wrong here.
Yeah, they've lost Marcelo Brozovic. That's a lot of midfielders gone. I mean, with new wing-backs, they've got Quadrado and they've got Dumfries. That'll be decent. Let's move over to relegated teams, Thogdad. Frosinone Calcio, Cagliari and Hellas Verona. And I'm sorry, Hellas Verona fans. I know they got a really good support. To see you go down to a relegation playoff last year, this time round, I'm worried.
Yeah, Verona survived on goal difference last season. I think they're going down this season along with Genoa and Frosinone. I probably pronounced that wrong.
You got it right. Calcio.
Over to Spain now for La Liga. Oh my goodness, I couldn't decide here. So I'll go to you. Who's first there?
My first place in the Spanish league. The hardest choice of the day. Is it Barcelona? Is it Real Madrid? I'm going with the Catalonians. Ooh. They don't need Messi back to win the league. They've just played Real Madrid in a friendly. They won 3-0. Who is the number 9 for Real Madrid? Joselu. Who is the number 9 for Barcelona? Lewandowski. Ousmane Dembele has made his decision to go to PSG. That's fine. You've lost him. But I really am excited by the rest of the up-and-coming talent. Pedri, Gavi are getting 1 year older. And Araujo at the back, he's brilliant. Koundé, one of the best fullbacks out there right now.
Lewandowski's still there. I looked at his career stats through. 542 goals. I know he's 34, but he's going to bag a few. Rafinha, is he going to have a good season? It was an okay season.
It was an okay year. Definitely needs to improve. Barcelona next year will be moving away from the new camp. They're going to be playing in the National Stadium of Catalonia, which is a weird, smaller ground. So Real Madrid could be the favourites. Is that who you're going with?
Well, before we get to that, Theo, FC Barcelona have brought in Gundogan on a free transfer.
That's a great
sign.
Is that
good business?
That's brilliant. But who have you gone with to win La Liga?
Over history, Theo, Real Madrid have won it 35 times. Barcelona have won it 27 times. But in the last 3 years, there's been 3 winners. After all the waffle, after all the thinking, I've gone with Real Madrid. And I tell you what, I know they've lost Benzema, which is a big loss, and I worry where a lot of goals are coming from. But this is a team with Jude Bellingham, with Rodrigo, with Vinny Jr., Valverde, Tchouameni. How can that team not win its domestic league?
And they're playing a freshly new Bernabeu.
Yes.
And the new camp is getting completely renovated. They can't go near it. That's a massive difference. Bellingham, is he going to play in like a number 9, false 9 role for you?
Theo, what a shame they don't have someone like a Harry Kane who's going to score 20 to 25. It's going to be very close this season. I'm going to put it out there. It could easily be Barcelona. I went with Barcelona at first and changed my mind.
I do wonder why Perez hasn't gone out and bought a striker like Harry Kane, who's obviously on the market. My prediction of Barca winning the league goes out the window if over the next 3 weeks Mbappe makes the move to Los Blancos. Let's move on to top 4 in La Liga, Dad. I'm going to go for Barcelona and Real Madrid, of course. Then Atletico in 3rd and Sociedad in 4th.
Real Madrid will win the league. FC Barcelona in 2nd, Atletico Madrid in 3rd, and Sociedad in 4th. So we agree on that. Atletico Madrid, Theo, they pushed Real Madrid close for 2nd place last season.
Yeah.
They've got Griezmann, they've got João Felix, hasn't signed for Chelsea.
Someone who I just don't know where his head's at. He came out in an interview saying he didn't want to play for Atletico, didn't want to play for the style of play under Simeone. Where's he going to end up? Will he just take his money and go to Saudi?
4th place, Real Sociedad. Now, the bookies think that Sevilla will finish above them.
Yeah.
But I look at the table last season and I just don't agree. One player I like is Mikel Oyarzabal, Theo, a 26-year-old left winger. 13 years at the club, Theo. That's amazing, isn't it?
He's a club legend. And on the other wing, you've got a great player too. Kubo, he's going to have a great standout year. And the great thing is, when you've got 2 good wingers from both ends, it's difficult. Fullbacks don't know where to double up on. Shall we move on to relegated teams?
I've gone for Las Palmas, Granada and Cadiz, Theo.
Ooh, my relegated teams for La Liga is Deportivo Alaves, Las Palmas and Cadiz.
Okay.
So Cadiz were the team that weren't relegated last year, but we both reckon they'll go down.
They survived by 2 points. It was a little bit close this season down. So let us know in the comments, because you guys know more than we do.
I really hope there is a fan out there of bloody Villarreal saying, why haven't you backed us for top 4? Or a bloody Lens fan saying, Theo, you're a mug for not adding us into the Champions League spots again. Little bonus section for you guys. We're going to go through top scorers of the 4 leagues we've discussed so far. So Ligue, who have you going with?
Of course I've gone for Kylian Mbappe if he doesn't go to Saudi.
Yeah, this is the thing. He might go to Saudi, he might go to Spain. I've gone with Jonathan David. He's 23 years old. I've backed Lille to get top 4, mainly because of how good he is. He's such a threat. He knows the league. Let's move over to Bundesliga. Who's your Bundesliga top goal scorer next year?
Do you know, I struggled with this one, and I've gone Serge Gnabry.
Yeah, well, last year it was Füllkrug who got the top scorer. 16 goals for Werder Bremen. Werder Bremen have one of the lowest squad values in the league. He's just a target man. The fact he won it is crazy. I'm going to go for Randall Kolo Muani. Now, if we're talking contributions, he was number 1.
Yeah.
12 assists, 16 goals. I really like him as a player at Frankfurt, and they've got him for one more year, which is shocking to me because I expected a big world-class team to come in with a big price tag, but they didn't. So he's going to stay, and he's getting 1 year older. He's only going to improve. Serie A, who is your top scorer?
It's going to be Victor Osimhen.
So Napoli next year are going to be high-scoring, high-conceding.
They are, Theo, yes.
My Serie A top scorer, I've gone with Juve to win the league, so I'm going to go with Vlahovic.
Yes.
He needs a season where he just smashes it. If they are going to go win the Scudetto, they need a top scorer with it, and that has to be the big Serb, big comeback under Allegri. I think it will happen. You've predicted Real Madrid to win La Liga, but who's the top scorer? Will it be Joselu?
Theo, you don't have to ask this. Lewandowski.
Dad, but you said Real Madrid to win.
I know I have,
Joselu's
Theo.
been bagging overhead kicks against Manchester United in the pre-season games. You don't back him to win the top scorer of La Liga?
Lewandowski.
Gone with Lewandowski as well. You can't deny Barcelona have the best number 9 in the league. Now let's talk about the Premier League. Who is your winner in the Premier League, Thogdad?
The winner of the Premier League this season will be...
Oh my God, I can't believe you just said that. My winner for the Premier League next year is left field. I have gone with